Welcome to the first ever News at Night.
Yeah.
It's a thing we do now.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
We've always done this. This has always happened. Now.
Always done
from
this
now on.
Yeah. You gotta live in the future and you gotta live in the past at the same time.
You gotta be in the now and the present and the future somehow. It's everywhere.
All right, now preach it. What is it?
Preach. All right. So, News at Night is going to be our weekly news show. Instead of doing the podcast as we've been doing it with like our topics being the news of the week, what we're going to do is we're going to do a short, probably 10-minute video of a rundown of all the news that's happening in the week and like the same stuff we've been talking about: video games, nerdy culture, movies, all that stuff. But this time we're gonna do it in a shorter format because most people have been saying that they want shorter videos. Now that being said, we are still going to do the podcast, but the podcast is actually going to be
more freedom, more of what we want to talk about.
Yeah, more topics of what we want to discuss, maybe outside of what is directly the news of the week.
Which works a lot better because podcast format is designed to be about general discussions. It can be about new stuff, that totally works, but I think doing a news basis has people waiting for certain news. I felt like people maybe thought they wanted certain news out of our videos because of the title, and they were waiting too long, and the video felt long. We don't want that. We want you here for a discussion.
To enjoy our discussion.
To just enjoy the discussion. That's what.
Plus, I have a feeling this will probably allow us to bring more guests onto the show because it's hard to bring a guest on to talk about a specific news topic that they don't know about. Whereas if we can bring them on and they can bring on their own general topic or something that they want to discuss, what's your favorite shooter game? What's your, what's this? Or what's, what kind of movies do you prefer? Kind of things like that, right? Where we're going to do more, general topics or, maybe even more specific topics, but nothing that's, specifically the news.
Which, if you feel that you were qualified as much as us, which doesn't take much, and you want to talk...
You got to get a diploma first.
Get yourself a diploma of, Up at Night diploma.
Diploma of podcasting.
We should totally make one.
You gotta pass our test.
Come on and talk to us, because that'd be great. We want you, if you feel you can.
We want you.
We want you.
All right, so from now on, like I said, we'll be doing the podcast separately, and we're gonna do
just not today because we fucked up big time.
Yeah, so we may or may not have already recorded an episode of the news show and an episode of the podcast
with no sound.
So that happened.
So we looked like this.
Now we might actually release that video because it might be hilarious, and maybe call it Up at Night for deaf people, or for the hard of hearing.
Which deaf people won't know that because they can't tell if the sound's on or not.
But if they can read lips, they can watch the video. It'd be great.
Which means they can watch our normal videos anyways.
Fair enough. Anyway, let's roll into the news. First piece of news: possible Zelda / NX Nintendo NX release date leaked this week online.
Guess which website?
Yeah. Guess who found it? Reddit. Because apparently all those fucking people have time to do is data mine websites, because apparently what happened is they data mined some European websites and found a release date for some amiibos that are for Breath of the Wild specifically, and people are thinking that maybe this might be a hint at the release of Breath of the Wild and maybe the NX itself, because it's supposed to be a launch title for the NX. Now the date that they're looking at is March 4th, which is right in the window of when the NX is supposed to come out. It was supposed to be March in the window. So maybe tentatively the new date for the game.
So expect in 2017 to be breaking pots, getting some fucking rupees.
Oh man, and just cutting grass, fucking going
nuts. Breath of the Landscapers, which we called
landscaping. That's what this. I just want them to make a game that's literally just like Link's Adventures
Home
in
care.
Landscape. Yeah, think about it this way: you're technically those games are about landscaping. You're running around cutting down bushes, getting rupees. I'm just saying.
Why
landscaping simulator.
Don't need to kill, okay, Nintendo? It's a little too violent for your Nintendo
Let's
game.
just calm down. Most landscapers aren't running around murdering people. I'm sure some of them are.
So Zack Snyder announced the new Batsuit in a picture, a photograph.
Yeah, he released a photo of it. Yeah,
and it shows Batman decked out in a full armored suit. He has goggles. It has a very distinct armored look.
They called it the tactical Batsuit, which is pretty cool.
I mean, technically, any Batsuit is tactical.
Yeah, as long as he's got tactics involved.
As long as he's doing tactics and shit.
Yep. Now, there's been a lot of problems. Most people are saying it looks cool and everything like that, but a portion of the internet, of course, because it's the internet,
they ruin everything.
They ruin everything because they're freaking out about the fact that it looks a lot like the I keep getting this right. The Night Owl costume from Watchmen. Now, here's a little tidbit of information that you might not know. Owlman looks like fucking Batman.
Literally.
Like, I mean,
ears, the
he's
face,
just a dude wearing a suit based on an animal that's kind of similar. Like, of course he's gonna look fucking the same. I mean, the only thing that really looks the same is the goggles. I think it's just that's the fact that he's got the mask with the goggles on. If he didn't have the goggles, he probably wouldn't look. People wouldn't be like freaking out about it.
Who knows? Those goggles might glow a different color, might change the whole look of the suit.
Literally, when you think about it, Night Owl isn't a direct copy of Batman. Like, that's literally what he is. Fuck. Even in DC, there is a character
called Owlman, which is the opposite of Batman.
Literally the opposite of Batman, and it's the same thing.
He tries to destroy the world. He's super cool. Go check that out.
He's an evil version of Batman. I mean, and there was actually a different version of Batman that people are comparing this to as well, from a different... It's like Earth 10, but it's the Nazi version of Batman, essentially. There's a team called the Justice League...
Syndicate?
No, Axis. It's the JLAX, or the JL Axis.
That's original.
But, like, it's essentially literally a timeline where the Nazis win the war, and, like, the Justice League works for the Nazis. It's crazy. But yeah, like I said, like, their suit looks very similar because it's got the goggles, it's got the kind of, like, armored look. It's cool, but still, like I said, the suit looks cool nonetheless. The Pokemon Go Plus released this week. If you don't know what it is, it's an attachment for your phone that
or
connects,
your privates.
Yep, or you can clip them right down
right
on
there. Your genitals.
Just right on them. What it does is it connects to your phone and it allows you to access, like, instead of having to have your phone open the entire time you're wandering around, the attachment will vibrate and flash a color when you come near a Pokemon. So what you do is you press the button on there and it automatically throws the Pokeball, and it'll tell you if you caught it based on, like, the colors that are flashing on it. Also, when you come near a Pokestop, it also allows you to just tap the button and you collect all the items from that Pokestop. Making it really, like, I mean, that's a really big battery saver because, I mean, that game just drains the hell out of your battery.
And your data.
And data...
But there's nothing you can do about it with this app. So,
yeah, with that, I mean, the data was never really a big issue, but the battery life thing is definitely... I mean, people went out and bought literally, like, chargers for their phones because... Like, the portable chargers because of that game. Now, that being said, this is 1 or 2 months too late.
Yeah, no, this should have been at launch.
Why they shouldn't... Yeah, the fact that they missed this at launch, Niantic and Nintendo fucked up so hard.
And this has nothing to do with Nintendo, does it?
They own part of it for sure, because it's Nintendo... I mean, I think Niantic is the developer on this, but, like, still, it's got the official Nintendo seal, and if they were smart, they would have pushed this for day one, because people would have bought millions of these things.
I feel like...
Now, this is not... It's going to sell fine, I think, but they could have sold... so many more of these.
They can just sell the plans or the blueprints for this device to porn companies like Pornhub.
Oh my god!
Because I'm sure they could have, like, a jack-off calculator or some shit.
Oh my god. Anyway, the device is out now, so if you play Pokemon Go and you are still addicted to the game, this is something.
You're lazy as fuck. You don't want to actually play the game.
You don't want to actually play the game.
It's like,
just
it's like
tap
golf.
your wrist. Yeah, this literally allows you to play as little of the game as possible, much like golf. Just the whole objective is play as little as possible. Anyway.
So in some Destiny news, we're just around the corner from the new release of Rise of Iron expansion. Players had noticed today or yesterday
a weird rash just forming all around their genitals.
More up around the face, but you're not wrong. What it is it's a nanoswarm. And this nanoswarm is transmitted between characters.
By having sex.
No. By killing them, being killed, or generating
and then having
orbs.
sex with their bodies.
Or,
I get it. Okay.
You know what? Yeah. Using the sexual emote near another player may contract this this thing.
So is it directly just a PvP thing?
It's PvP or generating orbs. So if you generate an orb for your teammate, you're gonna give him a.
So you're splooging orbs all over the place.
Now this nanoswarm, what it does is it gives you a buff, a minor buff to XP,
like real STDs. Yeah.
So yeah, you get a minor buff to looking creepy as fuck because you're all drained of energy and you're gonna die.
So this week in video games, Dead Rising, the collection has come out. Now, if you want them, you can get them all digitally right away. The only one that's physical so far is the first one, but they are going to be releasing them as they come out in the next weeks. But if you've never played these games, I mean, if you've been living under a rock, first of all, but they did remaster them. They look fantastic. Also, the BioShock games were released as a complete collection.
1, 2, and Infinite.
Yes. So with the Dead Rising games, it's 1, 2, and off the record. And like I said, this is actually the first time that you can play the first one on a PlayStation console because it was originally Xbox.
And I think it might actually come out for PC for the first time too. I don't think it's on PC.
The first one?
No, I don't think it is. To be quite honest, I don't think it's on PC. I'll have to look into that. You can put that in the comments or whatever. I don't really care.
Comment below.
But if you have not played Dead Rising or BioShock, What the fuck?
Literally kill yourself.
And I have to apologize.
But play the games before that.
Yes. I have to apologize to the people that were worried about not having enough time to do anything, because you're not going to have any time at all now that these came out.
If you have a problem with free time, you're fucked, because you need to play these games anyway, so... Yeah. I'm sorry. Just whatever. Whatever you were planning on doing, throw it out the window.
It's out the fucking window with that dude that got the nanoswarm AIDS.
Yeah, and he's just looking at you.
He's still fucking creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, South Park Fractured But Whole has been delayed.
Best title ever.
Now, hopefully, the game at release is just like the title, Fractured But Not Whole. I don't think this is a terribly bad thing.
We want it to be whole, not fractured.
Well, it's fractured because of the fact that it had to be delayed, which put a shit stain on the release.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's whole is all we want. We want it all together working.
Yeah.
That's my analogy. It's really shitty, and I was hoping it would work. Anyways.
Yeah, so I mean, it's shitty that it got delayed, but I mean, with most game delays...
It's for the better.
It's for the better usually. Like, I mean, yeah, if they're
for that.
choosing to release a game later, it means that they're not
ready. They're
not ready. Yeah, they're not confident that the game is done.
A game that proved that delaying a title would better it was Uncharted 4.
And Last of Us, actually.
And Last of Us. Both those games were... But that's just Naughty Dog. Yeah. They have their shit together. They know when
But that's totally a real thing. Naughty Dog did end up pushing their games back. And they said that the game would have been much different if they didn't take that extra, like, I think it was like month or two. Like, they said it was like a fundamentally different, like, outcome.
Totally.
Also got pushed back recently was The Last Guardian, which, who fucking didn't see this coming?
What?
Yeah, what? It got delayed again?
I think most people have forgotten about that game, and the diehard people that wanted it...
I am really worried that this game is just never going to live up to the hype, because it's Duke Nukem again.
It might be better than Duke Nukem by, like, a bit. That's not saying much.
I'm just saying, like, this game has been supposed to have been coming out for 10 years.
For PS3.
And fucking Final Fantasy got delayed again. Like,
please be doing your work. As long as you're making it better, it'll all be worth it in the end.
Yeah, if we play it in the end and it's amazing, then it's all worth it. But
don't fuck this up. If you're just delaying it for it to suck, just tell us it sucks, you're not going to release it. Just be honest with us.
Tell the truth. Last bit of news. Man of Steel 2 was confirmed by the director.
Superman lives?
But I mean, I don't know how that's even possible because he's dead.
He's supposed to be dead. Why would they spoil that?
He is so dead.
Why?
Yeah, I know. I mean, that was a thing that, obviously, other than this movie announcement, that was a thing that kind of bothered me about the end of Batman v Superman. I mean, why kill him in the movie and then show literally at the end of that same movie... Oh, the dirt's shaking. He's probably still... And it's like, come on, man.
It would have been hilarious to start Justice League with that was an earthquake, and his corpse just in the casket floats down a hill and gets even more fucked up.
Oh my god, so
and that's
morbid.
Just the ending note. Like, you're like, oh, he's still alive, and then the next movie starts, and it's like, ah!
And then he comes back maybe for Man of Steel 2 or Justice League 2, and then that's when they bring him back.
I don't think he'll be in Man of Steel 2.
It's just another movie about Batman.
It's just Bizarro for the whole Man of Steel 2.
The whole fucking story is just them trying to figure out how to tell Bizarro to do things, but backwards. It's gonna be.
It's him like arguing with them, like, please do not do that thing where you do it. And he's just like, what?
Oh, it's just all them getting headaches.
Don't smash man. So then he smashes a woman because they fucked up and they didn't tell him right. Is that how that works?
It's going to be an interesting movie.
It's going to be great.
Anyway,
Bizarro, Man of Steel 2.
So that's the news of the week. Like we said at the beginning, if you are interested in more of our content, you can always check out our podcast.
Our podcast. Still there.
It's still there. It's not going anywhere. We're just giving you more Actually, we're just giving you more content.
We're bettering our content. We're separating it. We're giving you news. We're giving you podcast. We're separating it. Yeah. If you don't like watching a video for an hour, go watch our news video. If you like watching our podcast, go watch the podcast.
If you like us a lot, watch both.
Watch both.
Like 10 times. Like,
if you don't like us, don't watch any of it.
Watch us on repeat. No. I mean...
It's reverse psychology. If I tell them not to do it, they'll do it.
Yeah, you won't do it.
You won't fucking watch all our videos because you're a pussy.
The videos.
You're a fucking pussy.
You couldn't handle all our videos.
You couldn't do it.
So. Anyway, thanks for watching. We will see you guys next week with more news and
a podcast.
And a podcast. This week we're not going to do a podcast. as we did state, we did have a podcast recording, and then we realized midway through
we have no sound.
that we had no sound, and we had to redo all this stuff.
And you can't read lips because you don't like us.
It just didn't turn out. I mean, we should probably just take that video one day and voice over it ourselves.
Oh, it's deleted.
Oh, did you?
I wiped it off the card.
You should have kept it just so that we could have been like, oh my God, Borden, what are we doing?
No, I do your voice and you do mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been great. That would ruin a friendship.
Yeah.
See you next week.
See you next week.